Hello?
Let's try that. Okay. So delayed, thank you very much for the heads up, B Silver B. What I was working on is just trying to get the armor back into good shape, and then we can get things rolling. A little bit behind the 8 ball this morning, just very minor health issue to deal with. It just took a bit longer than I expected, but I think we're all good now. Let's see this one. Let's put these away. Oops, no, over there. Take the extra. Oh, wrong one. Over here. This, that, and that. Actually, I guess I do need those. So today's going to take a little bit of experimenting. I'm very much not happy with the speed of the farm collection system. It's just, yeah, it's not making me pleased at all. So let's just give a quick fly over there. Oh, it's not even loaded. Okay, well, that's not going to help. I guess we need to walk over. What else do I need? Carts, that, oh, I need pistons, piston material. So, suffice to say, the regular hoppers are not fast enough to, with the single minecart, is not fast enough to pull things away from the farmers that I was working with. And I could have sworn I had a piston. I only need one. Got plenty of the levers. Okay, well, I guess I'm building a piston then. Oh, I used the 2 XP. I have not died super recently, but no, the 2 XP is because I had, because I had died in the lava recently. I guess maybe you weren't aware of that one, but yeah, I did. I had a nice splat in the lava, and then I used my first aid box of gear. I'm slowly rebuilding it and putting them back together. So of course I needed to eat up my levels to be able to enchant the gear properly. And yesterday, somehow, somewhere, I left my shield elsewhere, so I just had to rebuild one of those as well. Like, didn't have one in the box and didn't know where it went. It's one of those weird situations, you know, where you put a box down to clear out your inventory in order to take a mass quantity of one thing, and then you have no idea where you left it after that. It's highly possible I may have just simply broken the box that had the stuff in it, and then, like a shulker box or something, and then accidentally walked away, not realizing that said shulker box had despawned. So yeah, I'll give you a real quick snippet. Thankfully it doesn't play with the sound, which is kind of nice. Let's see, do I have that snippet still here? Backwards image. What's this? Oh no, that's not live. Media source. Properties. Okay, well we're going to play it just once, but thankfully it does not... Where's the download on this? Oops, which one? 83. Yeah, so thankfully it doesn't actually include the sound on it because I did say a nasty word, but who knows if it'll come through on that one. So let's just see if I turn this one on. Yeah, this is my splat. So we're hanging out in the nether. I heard a ghast. I wanted to make sure I could get around and hopefully block this part off before I saw the ghast. Turn around and there's said ghast. I got myself hung up on a corner, didn't realize there was an edge there, and ended up in the lava. Splat, splat, you know, burn. I tried to swim out and got underneath the ledge that I'd fallen off of initially. So there was definitely no way out of that one. Thankfully, I was not wearing my elytra at the time, because everything else is easily replaceable. But yeah, so that was not fun. That's where the majority of my XP has gone then, is because I had a set of armor in the box. That's why it's red. It's my first aid box. So I had a good set, and I put it back on, and we were, you know, climbing up to where we needed to be. Oops, but it, yeah, needs replacing. Oh, that's my head, okay. Thankfully, though, when it comes to sounds, oops, I'm in the wrong one. Sweetie, there, cable input. Now I'm hearing one, that's good. So thankfully, when I got back into game, it wasn't such a big deal to finish up some enchantments and then start building on the original. On the other hand, it's also helpful that because I've got an iron farm and a good number of iron-related villagers in that normally work in that building, then I can get some easy XP to do the enchantments and such. So it's very, very helpful. Latest projects, we might as well go out this door and take the slightly longer run. I think the last time that you were watching, I was digging in a hole. I'll show you really quickly what happened there with the clip through, because we've been into the ground plenty of times. So you probably saw that I built the melon farm. Nothing too exciting about that, just threw a composter on the end of it, because I actually don't really need the melon farm at all. But, you know, it's one of those projects that's always useful. So then I dropped down in here and I have a cavern. Now, the original plan had been with said cavern to make a basic mob farm just so that I could get some gunpowder for rockets and such. Unfortunately, not even counting for the light levels, which actually does it show here? Yeah. So light levels are fine on the platforms. But because it's so close to the surface, even if I light this part up, the vast majority of the time, I don't get mobs on here. It's just not very effective. So that's why the farm's turned off, because it did squat. And I figured 3 levels is useless. So, or not useless, but not useful enough. So I figured, okay, well, then I'll just head down, take advantage of the fact that there's a cavern below, and dig through. So that's where I started going. But the problem is, of course, the more you light up, the more concentrated the mobs become. So when I put 2 and 2 together and went, wait a minute, you lit up a bunch of the cavern edges and stuff, you need to actually light up the floor of the cavern below, you're going to be in trouble. So I went to do so, and you can see there was a lot to do, but it's not spawning right now. But yeah, there you go. So this is a portion of the concentration of mobs I was getting. You can see some of them down here. So even though I had a few rockets and stuff, I was using them to get out of there because I'd have to light up quite a lot. Maybe not all the way down here, but yeah, I had to light up quite a lot. So I just decided to outright abandon that project. Now, I mean, what I could probably do is go back to just the 3-layer version, light up top and see if I get anything at all that's worth anything. Because, I mean, you built it, you know? Like, I built it, it's been done. I'd still have to come down occasionally to pick up the supplies. But, yeah. For now, I just got frustrated, so I left it. Said, forget it. So then I moved on to making a sheep farm. Nice and simple, always helpful. Oops, let's take this off now. So we've got all the colors of the sheep, and we've got a minecart that just goes round and round and collects everything. And then in the upper floor here, so I guess I was floating below, that in the upper floor we've got just some basic storage. And I didn't have cows, so that's why I'm short on item frames. And you can see from this wall, I'm starting to take out some of the polished diorite and turn it into spruce. Well, I've run myself out of spruce. So, you know, we could go tree chopping, but I don't really feel... I'm not in the mood for it. But also to do the thatch, and I'm going to be doing a lot of medieval thatch this time, we need a lot of hay bales. Like, quite a lot. Therefore, let's hop and skip and jump to the next part. Well, thank you. I was actually taking looks at real medieval barns, or what's left of them, and most of them have very solid exteriors, often completely stone, but like a more of a tan color by now. Mud bricks would be nice, but it's not something I have in my possession, so not an option, and that's why I went with the diorite. But I had the whole thing diorite, and that didn't look very good, so I found some pictures that were approximately the same time period I'm looking at in the 1100s UK, and was able to go with more of a broken up pattern. I wanted it to be even, but of course, you know, Minecraft math and all that doesn't really work. So we're getting there slowly, but we need lots of thatch. JBT on the server helped me out with a double chest of stacks, which is fantastic. But unfortunately, it's not enough. So I figured, okay, well, the manual farm's not going to cut it. So over here, I've taken the 3 wheat farms we've got, and okay, now I can do this a little more easily. And so with these 3 wheat farms, out of my face, I've got the minecart system underneath, sucking stuff up. However, it's just not fast enough to force the villagers to empty their inventory and use only seeds in there and me get all the wheat. They tend to get a bit of both. So we have to change that out. But in the meantime, it comes to a hopper on this side, sits there till the cart's empty. The products come along the hopper line, which is, hopefully you guys can see that. And then I'm going to dodge this for a second. And then we go around the corner and we've got a sorting system that separates out the seeds from the wheat. And the seeds continue along this sort of hopper line I'm clipping into, over to a hopper tower. Oh, sorry, a dropper tower. So they come up and they sit in this box. Now, originally, my earlier design had been based on one I did a couple years ago, where it, the whole thing was minecarts galore underneath. What a pain to put together, so I tried to avoid it. But when it has minecarts galore, it sucks away everything from the villager fast enough that they can't pick it up, and then it goes into a hopper system, and off we go. But we'll see about that one. I don't know if I have to go quite that extreme. Today's the day for a little bit of science to find out, or testing. But anyways, after the seeds come down, when things work, they go through the system. The seeds end up in the middle, and the wheat ends up in the chest. You can see that's oh so effective. So then we've got 2 more farms that are doing the same thing. This one, purely everything feeds into the sorting system. But this one has its own sorter, so that the wheat should go here and the seeds go over there. So I chained 2 together. But the thing is, I'm seeing them get wheat. I'm seeing wheat be picked up by hopper carts. Like, it sits here, and then the hopper cart snakes around and picks it up. And then I never see what happens to it after that. Like, ever. It should end up over here, but it's not. So there's clearly something wrong with the system that I've got going. So that's part one, to get that to at least get slow hopper work. But I mean, the fact that it's not coming up here, I'm pretty sure it's the redstone. I'm pretty sure I've got it jammed in a tower somewhere along the line. That's part one. But even so, if I can get an improvement in speed, then that would be appreciated. The idea, if it's fast enough that the villager can't get anything, they eventually run out of seeds. So I would end up having a second seed tower built over here and open up both sides of the glass in between the farms so that the villagers could access just the hopper tower part, and it would spit seeds onto the ground and they could come by and pick up what they needed to go and do their planting with. Sort of recycle. But by having the trapdoors up top, they can get to the wheat to do the planting, but they can't reach the composter to compost the products. So, crossing my fingers, but we'll just have to see what we can do about it. But yeah, first things first, we saw those hoppers pick up the wheat. But where is it going is my question. And I think I've just messed up the redstone by closing everything in. So today's plan is to tear it up and see what we can see. And I was so excited about it yesterday because I thought, oh yeah, I got this figured out. We're doing great. No. Okay, so there's the top. That. Expose things. What's here? Plenty of stuff. Why do we have a bazillion seeds? Okay, so now I need to figure out why do we have all those seeds? That's full. So it seems like the hopper tower over here broke. Yeah, that broke. But not completely. Weird. Okay. Even so, the wheat is there. Loads of it. But it's not working either. So I have somehow really busted these towers. Okay, that's saying... Alrighty. What's this? So that should be feeding in here, which should be feeding up. That's on. Makes that off. On. Okay, why aren't you guys firing? I thought I had a brief idea of what redstone might be, but I guess not. I don't either. The idea with the comparator is supposed to be that if there's something in this one, it will give out a signal. So this one will go ahead and power that one, which then powers this one. I'm going to try... Aha, okay. Get this torch back. So hopefully it's supposed to power this one, which... Tear this out. So which in turn would give a power to that block. And then let's pull this out. Okay, so one more. So if it powers this block, which in theory should power that torch, and I don't quite know why that's off. It should be on. That's confusing. And then that would definitely give this one a signal, which would give this one a signal. Repeat through to here, turning off that torch, which is locking this. But we've got the reverse happening, and I don't get it because this should be saying, look, there's a power, there's something in here, I'm powering this block. But it's not, and I'm not sure why that's the case. Let's try putting it down again. So it comes out of there. Redstone guru. I could use a redstone guru. Now, if there wasn't a repeater underneath, I would try and put something else that has a redstone dot on it. Well, if I break it all the way... Yes, it does, but the thing is, the little bits of A plus B energy that I've dealt with don't seem to be all that different, although I could be, totally out to lunch. I'm having a what if moment.
Hello there.
Neon! Excellent! So Neon, I had a hopper tower. And for some reason, it doesn't hopper. Two of them actually don't hopper. And I was under the impression I had built it correctly because I took some screenshots of things, and it seemed to be working yesterday, but then it just failed. So I don't know what I did wrong. I've got wheat that's coming in here. It should give out a signal here. I had a block standing here, but I thought I would power that. And then we could feed the power upwards, blink format, of course. And then it would also feed power down here to a repeater that would turn this part off until there was no wheat, and then things would turn on again. But it's not. And I don't quite understand why. So yeah, that's where my brain is all confused. Here. I did this, and I had that, and then I had this. Is it because I've double powered like this block somehow from the one above? Should this one have been there instead? Nope, that's even worse. So the design I was using, and I can even share this with you, just grab the picture quick. Me and my references. Okay, here, What's this one? I don't know what that one was. Let's figure it out. Nope, not that one. Properties, nope, it is this one. Sometimes yes and sometimes no. What I'm looking at is, okay, there's the droppers themselves. This is just a block powered by the torch. And then up here is once again, there's another torch there. And then there's a torch in this gap up here. Neon's better with redstone than I am. The thing that puzzles me is why it used to work and then it suddenly stopped. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. Where did I take my screenshots to yesterday? That's weird. Desktop. Screenshots. Okay. Why the double torch? That makes no sense either. Oh, right, that's the tower. This one. All right, so that's the look I was using yesterday. So the bottom one, where you see the repeater, that would be this block here. And then on the far side of that you can't quite see, back here was where you had a torch. Okay, you got it, Neon. So this one, oh, let's get this out of the way. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so we're going with, this one has a torch you can see stuck in there. Morning, Mr. MC. And then this one has the torch on this back block here, which should theoretically power these three. Then this one has the torch in there, and the one above it is here. in the meantime, one of the things I'm going to do is grab... Oh, no, not that one. Grab a shulker box. Top one isn't needed? Okay, let me see if I pull that out. This one. We'll take out this one. Oh, yeah. The reason the top one was there originally was that, yeah, I had the topper tower 2 blocks taller. So if that's not needed, I'll shove the hole in there. Where am I here? I got myself in a hole again. Eat for 50 points? Kind of hard. It's only the saturation that's down. That's actually just the food is full. But I will keep that one, or as soon as I possibly can eat, you will definitely get that. And if we don't by the end of stream, I'll refund the points. So let's go back here and put down the chest. I was here for something. Oh, I know. I want a shulker box that doesn't have stuff in it. Put that one up there. This one up there. Where's the circuit to trigger the comparator? Sorry? What do you mean by that, Neon? Thankfully, I don't have any creepers at the moment, but I do appreciate the attempt. So, the comparator itself is supposed to be reading off the content of the dropper. Shouldn't have that much wheat in it, but it does. And then, the way that... Oh, Hangman game. Okay. Why that didn't show up? Give me a sec. Minigames. Hangman's there. It's under the alerts. Minigame should be showing it there. Oh, it does show. Never mind. I didn't see that it was small. So it reads off this bottom hopper here, which should, if I understand correctly, so it jammed. But why is the question? Now that should be coming through. So it just simply jammed. Could it have been that top torch that was up here? Okay, so Hangman is a game, Mr. MC, where you guess a letter such that you're trying to determine what the word is. Okay. I want to make sure I don't... Okay, I think I can put one here. And let's see if I can get some dirt to get out of here. I don't want to repower anything else. Oh, fantastic. So it's likely to jam more than once. Okay, good to know. I think I can put one at the bottom there. I think, if I can reach it. We've got some weird gaps just because there's ones I want to make sure I wasn't accidentally powering those. Bedtime. Bedtime, or this could be a bad time. I'm not familiar with a feedback circuit, Neon, so that's now, okay, I think you came in a little late, so I'm just going to fill in a couple other pieces, and maybe you can tell me why what I did was dumb. But in any case, I've got, you can see where the lines go. At the moment, we've got a minecart underneath. And I probably had the same error at the top of this one. So I'm just going to fill it this far. So this one's all backed up. That one's got stuff. That one doesn't. And this one's full. So I suspect I probably did the same mistake on both of them with the extra torch. So you're saying, nope, this one I should need because it's a taller unit. So it's taller by 1 block. And do I have... Yeah, in that one, the torch is needed. Because it's taller by 1 unit, so I don't have that opportunity to multi-power, as in power many blocks with 1 torch on that one. But you're right that it could just be jammed, possibly. So in that case, I've got to dig down to get below the farmers. To see what's happening here. Huh. Let's rip it out again and see what we've got. Now the theory is it's to set up the same way as the last one, but clearly that's not necessarily the case. And why is... Oh, right. Okay. Please tell me it wasn't because I did that. If that's all it was, I feel like such a doofus. Nope, that's not what it was. Okay, anyway. Let's go straight up here. There's glass up at the top, right? Yeah, okay. So, same vein. We've got the same one coming in, which I'm going to pull out. Okay. So really, it's the fact that it's loading things in. It. That's very frustrating. There's nothing I can do about it. My farm or my base isn't big enough for me to be puttering around in the castle. Sorry, my base is too big, pardon me, for me to be puttering around in the castle and keep this loaded at the same time. So there's not much I can do about it. I guess it's just going to have to get jammed from time to time. That sucks. Oh well. You know, you live and learn, right? This is why I dislike redstone. It's because it's not A plus B equals C. That's where I came in. Okay, so I can't do that. Yeah. So really, it's the chunk loading problem. Okay. Well, now I know. On the other hand, at least that saves me an awful lot of headaches. And I don't actually have to redo the whole farm. It could be faster, but, you know. Please do. Please do. And I can take a look at doing that next week. The stuff is slowly filtering its way in. On the other hand, we're getting what we needed. And I have an extra torch. Yay, yippee skippy. Alright, so what I want to do with this shulker box is just collect this stuff out. I'm weird. I'll go over there. 1, 2, 3. You guys are related. There. That's wrong. Oh, that's convenient. Okay. This one. That one. I don't know why I have 9 stone blocks now. Because I don't think I took out 9, but whatever. If I have 1, that's all I need. There we go. Now I can reach this one. those over there for now. It's not perfect, but hey, it's a start. Guess I didn't need this one after all. It can be fixed, apparently. So it can be fixed. Let me take that reference off the screen because it's annoying me. My references. Wrong screen. Where did I see that? Can't remember where I saw what I was looking for, so I'm just gonna skip it. All right, so basically, because we're doing so much thatch, the point was that I needed more. However, it looks like I don't have to, which is nice. Yeah, well, that's good news and weird news at the same time. Where is this one? Place to put stuff. Guess I can come back and see later on if things are cleared out. Boxes, boxes, boxes. Well, okay. Slightly thrown in that I thought I had more projects, but then I guess we're going... Let's grab another box, after all. This one I'm going to put some of this stuff in, just so I don't misplace it and or lose it again. Where did I put this? That's what I want. I can keep the dirt just in case. Diamond axe. Okay, we're good. So now I need spruce. Oh, I know what I wanted. Might as well take this junk back. And leave that one. Just before I get into the spruce, because it's on top of the snow, I know there's danger snow patches over there, so I'm just going to go grab a pair of boots. And I'm going to break the farm. Just so you know. Nice, lovely boots. Need that. Yep, that'll work. Well, so I don't lose it thing just really got lost on me. And no bad puns intended. So I may have broken it just by disappearing over there. Nope, thankfully I didn't on that one. And that one, I think I did break it. Let me just double check. Part of it. Yep, I broke it. So yeah, that's definitely something that's going to need repairing, but my brain's just not in it at the moment. It should be, but it's not. Oops. Okay, so I need spruce trees to finish up the sheep farm. You guys may not be able to see the difference, but what this resource pack I have on does is to the right you see what's generally normal snow. You're fine. And then we see a red tint to the danger snow, which I do not want to be falling into. Hence the leather boots. But if I don't take the bed, I'm going to have all kinds of headaches. Oh, I do. All right. So I'm hoping that I won't have to redo it, but you make a good point that it might be easier just to go like make it a moot point by going back to the original plan and go back into the nether and not be a lazy butt. Because hoppers equals very clearly A plus B, you know, off you go. And bubble columns I've done to high heaven. So those ones, you don't need to power anything. It just works. Now the assumption being then that I'd have to get stuff from the hopper into a dropper, but I can power on and off the hopper, not too bad. That's something I could figure out. Hopper at the bottom end. That's something I could figure out, so that if it turns itself off, you know, not a big deal. And that makes sure the hopper's empty. The other thing I could do, if I'm super duper lazy about the whole thing, is quite literally, pardon me, just build some stairs. And then when things get jammed, just run down the stairs and unjam it. It's like a paper jam in the photocopier. Okay. Let's see what we've got. Stream info, nope. Changing titles. Definitely need a lot of spruce for at least the like for the sheep farm part. There's going to be very similar usages, so I might have a mix of spruce and oak. It's not super regionally accurate in real life, but it's what Minecraft has. And I really appreciate all the help, Neon. I really do. Redstone's one of those things that it's not just a never do it on stream thing, but also it's one of those pieces that you either know it or you don't. And mucking around halfway is risky. At best. Risky at best. All right. How's my map looking? Oh, nope, there's some more. There's some more. There we go. Come on. Chop that tree, please. One of the other things I'd love to be able to have on boots is like jump boost. That'd be nice. You could say I've done the same thing before, like I've done the whole towers thing before. But two things were important. One, it happened to be literally right outside my back door kind of thing, so I didn't have to worry about the loading part. That's a new one for me. Good morning! I'm sorry you're unimpressed with the length of them. It's one of the things that I need to keep a little longer just to help keep the place as friendly as possible. But one of the reasons that I didn't have to worry about it in the past, or worry about the issues with things unloading in the past, is everything was just right outside my back door. And I only had one plot of farm, which I actually had more farmers in, but that kicked me because then I ended up with problems with golems, because they would try and spawn in the farm and get their head stuck in the slabs at the top. So it was not something I was happy with. So this time I thought, okay, fewer farmers, because Java has that whole, golem social mechanic. They can just talk and get golems. And this time it kicked me a different way. That's okay. It happens. So other than that, welcome on in, Connor. Glad you're here. I'm very sorry that the chat rules were a little bit long. I've had some misinterpretations from people visiting, or not visiting, viewing. So yeah, that's a matter of one of those like once bitten, quad shy type moments. When I wasn't specific enough, someone decided to use a loophole to ruin the stream. So yeah. Today I'm cutting down some spruce and apparently assorted other things because I'm needing spruce for the edging on some of my medieval themed buildings, corners and so on. We could do some oak as well, but oak is, I find, a little bit less of a pain in the neck to farm. I'm not sure which one of the two, but one of them I had also been dumb enough to accidentally run myself out of saplings for. So yeah. You're seeing the ground look a little weird because I've got a texture pack on that lets me know where the dangerous snow is. Even though I've got leather boots, it'd be nice to know where it is so that when I take the leather boots off, I don't end up going straight into the bad stuff. Or if the leather boots wear out or whatever. Because these ones don't have mending on them. I can do enough falling in a hole. I don't need to fall into the dying snow anyways. Okay. Did I bring the bed? Yes, I did. That was fast. I have friendly, helpful sleepers. Nice. And now I have no respawn point. That was highly stupid. Really dumb. Let's just get this out of the way. And let's respawn on not death snow. There we go. Close enough. So the theme for my base this year is a medieval theme, and it's based off of a real location in England, but a fictionalized version of that place that was used in a favorite series of mystery books. So because they've gone with the medieval style of a real place, then rather than going completely fantasy medieval, I figured I would do my best to try and do things semi-historically accurate, meaning that if a style of architecture was done in a particular way, I'm going to try and do that to be somewhat period appropriate. It's not a perfect system by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, it's not just because Minecraft has big blocks, but also that some of the options don't always work as I'd expect. Oswin, that is a really poor choice of random message to send out right now. Oh well. There we go. Let's see, how am I doing for making way and destroying this place? Good, we've got some more patch to work with. All right. I'm still fully seeing the farms, so I'm going to count that as good news for now. We need thatched roofs as well, so I think I'm on the edge of what I can possibly handle for my farms to keep functioning. So I have to sort of move over a little bit more to the west and possibly work on a tree farm a little closer, manual tree farm. Because I have not a whole ton of skill with redstone, so unloading problems seem to be prevalent. think maybe the other reason I haven't really noticed a whole lot of the same issue when I'm doing solo worlds is, as I understand it, the spawn chunk area can be a little larger when you're actually like at spawn. Very, very cool. Yeah, I'm really glad I had Neon come in and basically didn't sound like I was doing anything wrong per se, other than letting it get jammed when it unloads. So it seems that the yurt I was using for AFK works well. Okay, and that's the end of... Yeah, that's just about the end of the spruce. I can probably go a little bit this way. Maybe a bit. We'll see. Nope. Well, I got 3 stacks of 64. That'll get me the edge of the sheep farm anyways. You can just see the yurt on the hill there, behind the tree. And I have a suspicion the unloading effect is probably also why my bees disappeared. We used to have 2 full hives of 4 here, and the bees were happily doing their thing and helping with the fertilization and everything, and then they just left. So I know there's a despawn error with the bees. I don't know if it's still as prevalent as it used to be, but yeah, that's probably partly why they disappeared. Okay, what do we got? Seems to still be loading, sort of. That's good news. And this one? Okay. So that's good news, but it's backed itself up. Now, given that I still don't know if... Oops. I still don't know if I need to keep any of these seeds. I'm just going to move them for now. And we'll see if we can get them to cooperate. If I end up with too many, which is pretty clear that I'm going to, then I can always compost. Okay, we'll just take 1 box out for now. That'll be good. This one and these can come out. Turn them into hay bales. I'm starting to get an idea of just how much work Ziptos put in a couple seasons ago, just trying to get his hay bales for his thatch, because he did a whole Valhalla type theme, and he needed a lot of bales. This one, there we go. Let's move that temporarily flat down there. Seed box. You can go way over here. Random junk. I'd put that away, or I'm going to misplace where it is. Oh, nope, that had stuff in it. Okay. I'm not keeping leaves right now, so I'm going to... What am I going to do? Or this one. That's still running. So did I jam out this one? Six. Okay, so it still seems to function, sort of. All right. What do I want to do here? Parts, you're going to pick stuff up. You're reliable. Everything else is not. Sort of, maybe. Do I actually have a farm where things don't work? I do. Huh. Okay, so this one... Oh, no, it picked it. No, it didn't. Yeah, so I think that one spot glitched itself into the glass. Just enough. No, it's not glitched in the glass, just being a pain. So that cart may have unloaded somewhere along the line. Okay. And be full or something like that. Well, deal with it later. Deal with it later. You can see the farm's just, or the thing is just too wide. Let's get those out of there first. This one, thank you. Clean up. Clean up. Not the world's most efficient system, but it works. What's this? Jammed? Okay, let's put that in there. This will put that in there. Okay, close enough. Do I have a bed in here? Yes, I do. Pardon me. Okay. What do we got? I was working on the roof and the walls, and I think this side, as weird as it is, I think that side sort of looks done for now. So at 3, oh right, the back isn't gonna work. So 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. Okay, I can deal with that. And I got the cross beam, so we can deal with that too. Okay, so 3, and then this one came out. Two, 2, 2, oops, and 3. That's this floor. So the period we're looking at is approximately the I'd say late 1130s to about 11, like mid to late 1140s. Not quite a 10-year period, but the book series is unclear, and though they use names of real people, it's not always a quite accurate timing, or even the correct order of abbots for the abbey, but it's kind of nice. And then of course there's extra characters that were created And I hadn't realized that one of the characters I thought was fake, as in made up, was actually a real individual. Gentleman by the name of, later on, by Richard Pryor, which that's because he was Prior Richard, weirdly enough. And he did eventually become the abbot of Shrewsbury Abbey, which is disappointing because I absolutely hated him as a character in the books. And in the books, he doesn't quite become abbot, more than a temporary fill-in. So sometimes reality bites compared to the fake stuff. But yeah, it was kind of fun to read about things that did happen. Like there was a legit civil war between factions of Empress Maud, and then there's another name she goes by, which is in the books they stick with Maud, and I can't remember what it is in real life, but she's the the daughter of the previous King Henry, and she's fighting with her cousin, Stephen, for control of England. And Stephen's side believed that, unfortunately, women could not be rulers. So he felt he had legitimate right to take over the throne of England. Even though her father had worked very hard to make sure that supposedly all his lords were going to back her when he died, but that didn't end up actually happening. So our main character is an ex-crusader who basically got tired of it and became a sailor in between, and then came home to England with quite a lot of herbal knowledge. So when he joined the Shrewsbury Abbey as a monk, he became their herbalist, but gets away with quite a lot of things that would normally be against the rules, just because Kedval is Kedval. How do we need? Let's see. About halfway. Let me take this look at this from the outside. Actually, why am I going in person? Let's do it this way. So I was going to put another support beam about halfway up the top level, because the top beams, particularly the center one, looks way too long. But I don't think that logically makes sense. Unless maybe I do it where the top of these two taller ones meet. See, the bottom is 4, 3, and then 4 top. Actually, I do it right at this corner, roughly halfway up. That probably wouldn't look that bad. Then I have 3, 3, and then 4 above that, but only in a small section. So yeah, I'll probably go with that one then. That's right here. That is to have the appearance of additional support. Well, of course, clearly it doesn't actually have it, but Minecraft's never relied on that before. Why should they start now? And this one has to come out. There we go. Two, three. So one of the plans that we've got going with this one is this very large section. Because of the way Minecraft houses are actually quite large, we're going to be fencing in the majority of this whole island section. I'm loath to do the parts down at the bottom here, but I may end up covering them up. We'll see. The map I'm working with on that front, references, sketch map, there we go. Live. Turn this one on. So we're looking at this map. You've seen this one a lot recently. You can see that our land space got kind of lucky to look like that. So I need to decide how much of it I'm going to actually fill in. But there's streets to lay out, and there's lots of housing and so on and so forth. And then on this east section, that would be where you would see the Abbey Zone to the bottom right of the map. And I just have to size everything out to make sure I've got enough space. So I've flattened things ridiculously for the monastery grounds, but I need to actually do it. Now, the real place doesn't exist anymore, and the reason, I mean, the buildings, there's a church there, but the real monastery grounds don't exist anymore. Partly because they were given over to the crown in 1654, I believe, or roughly around that period, and got torn down. But even prior to that, in the late 1300s, the highway that became the oh shoot, was it the A5, I think? But anyways, they've got a major highway going right through the Abbey grounds. Lovely architect, but quite a piece of work in my mind. And also, though my castle is far oversized for the map sketch that you see there, to do the Shrewsbury Castle the way that it supposedly looked back then, we're looking more of something like this nature, or even possibly that nature. And I just couldn't get the detail level I wanted in something smaller and representative. So there you go. That's what you got. All right. So we're back in here, and I just needed the crossbeam on the other side. Last season, I did quite a lot of mystery-themed stuff. So my theme last season was still mystery, but it was multiple different mystery books or characters that I quite enjoy, from Sherlock Holmes to Brother Cadfael to what's his name? Hercule Poirot was another one. And I wanted to do more, like Nero Wolfe or potentially even a Sam Spade reference. And I did a Father Brown reference as well. And the Father Brown one involved a cathedral, not a big one, so like a big Catholic church or whatever, that I quite liked and I can reuse in this purpose because it was a Gothic design. But I need to resize it. Not resize it, but as in go figure out what the scale was that I was working with in order to try and recreate that one this time, because I figured I would use that church as my basis for my abbey or my monastery, and then work from there. But was not easily able to get a schematic of it because, you know, SMPs and all that doesn't always work well, and I got that level completely wrong. Oopsie daisy. Huh. Okay. I think I got both ends wrong. Let's take a look at the back. Yep, I did. I got it wrong. No, that'll do. 4, 4, and 3. For some reason, my brain was counting the bottom as 3. Nope, that's fine. That's fine. Let's just double check the front looks the same. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, I'm not as wrong as I thought I was. Which is a nice change. Thanks, Fantastic Sherlock Fox. It's nice when things sometimes work out. But you can see that's what I needed the thatch for. So once you've got the sketch of the whole village in your brain, you can see there's a lot of thatch roofs. A lot. I thought about cheating it out and going with either birch roofing or acacia roofing. But hay bales, for at least some of the larger structures, made sense, and I needed to put something around the outside of the sheep farm. It probably didn't need to be quite this big, but in order to get all 16 colors inside, I needed to be almost this wide. I didn't really have a whole lot of choice on the width. So I could have gone shorter on the roof, I think, by making it twice as deep. So 2 blocks for each level instead of 1. But hey, here we are. Because the real ones were actually quite peaked. That's one of the things they're known for. I'm willing to bet. What have we got here? $44. Well, something's moving. Seeds are moving for now. So what I'm going to do is take all of these out, because if... I mean, A, that's far too many for these guys to need, even if I did need to put more stuff in. But then if I come back later on and there's no seeds whatsoever in the tower, then we know we've got a problem. Not to mention, every time somebody comes on, we have brief lag. Actually, let's take these two. Okay. Well, so that's a thing. I guess the next question becomes which project we switch to. Because I don't really have any reason to speed up the farm and tear it all out and so on, as my original plan had been, if it's just going to have the same problem because it keeps getting what do you call it, unloaded. Unless I pick up sticks and move the entire farm. But that's kind of silly because if I take a look at where the village was, then it's not going to... sketch map. Moving the farms inside the wall doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Though I admit there is space between the wall and the riverside. So if I put that here, then the farms end up down in the south, which is really not going to work. That'll keep us even more unloaded. Not sure what to do. That's going to take some thinking this weekend. Bingo! That was kind of fun. So if anybody, needs some noises, there's always those sorts of options. You can make all kinds of fun ones, from cats to Wookiees to such. And then there's all the stuff from Sound Alerts on my channel is free, so that helps. And hopefully there will be...
And there was much rejoicing.
Yay! But yeah. We've got all kinds of things. What else am I going to do today? So I'm just a little bit at loose ends because I had a plan and it left. Let's go back up to the yurt and sleep in the yurt, just so that we can get everything reset back to daytime. Without phantoms, because phantoms are not my favorite. Come on. No, it doesn't make sense inside the walls historically. So I think I'm just gonna have to put up with what it's doing. But once again, maybe we'll take that nether trip and go make the hopefully independent of the system. Weirdly as that sounds. Because different people have talked about how water streams would be faster. They would. My problem with water streams is when despawns happen, water stream contents are not immune to that. That's part of why I wasn't doing it that way. So jamming up is one thing, but despawning I found was going to be more annoying. On the other hand, based on what I'm seeing right now, it's not going to make any difference whatsoever. So, yeah. Oh, that's part of my... Sorry. That is part of my frame reducer. So I've got an FPS reducer, and it's supposed to help extend the life... Sorry. It's supposed to help extend the life of your graphics card and stuff if when you go AFK you've reduced your frames so it doesn't actually have to work. But that's what's giving me the FPS in the corner of the screen. No problem. There are plenty of others that do it. One of the ones that does so is, I believe, I'm also using Mini HUD, and that will give it as well. Let's see, what else have I got? There's a few other ones in there, but that's the biggest one. And then there's always versions of Modified F3 screen where you can actually ask it to print it on. No, modified settings screens, and you can actually get it to print the frames per second to the screen. It's weirdly quiet right now in game because I've turned down villager sounds. But I'm kind of hoping that they will harvest something so we can see whether or not it jammed up. Although I'm not sure it really matters, I guess, if I'm going to go do something else. But now at least I know that it's jammed as opposed to not doing anything. So it's just a slow process. Alright. Now there's just nothing going on. Alright, well. Let's let it unload itself then. And I think we should probably head off to the Nether and see if we can find an alternate collection system. So really all I need is some sand. And I don't want to... soul sand or whatever, and I don't want to get myself dead again. So we'll see if we can avoid doing exactly what we did the last time. Compost content. I have a whole box full in storage, so I don't need more. Are these free floating again? No, we're good. Oh, So I thought it would be a good idea to grow dripstone in these towers because, you know, it would be a little more loaded and stuff because this thing kept functioning. We're fine. But since I put this up several weeks ago, it has done absolutely nothing, even when I AFK in this room. And I think I just like the look of it, so I'm going to leave it, even though it has absolutely zero purpose. So, yeah. I don't need more. I have torn down enough that I have way more dripstone than I'm going to need. I'm not too bothered by that. It's more that it's a why I don't really have any energy or interest in fathoming. Okay, let's get rid of the polished diary because we don't need that. Oh no, this chest. Oh, well, that's not going to work. There's no room. Move those to a precious box. No room. There's no real room here either, but at least we've got a bit more space. Books aren't technically precious, but I never seem to have them when I want them, so I put them in with the emeralds. Okay. I can ditch a lot of this other stuff. Don't need sticks in the nether. Spruce trees. Nope, wrong one. Spruce trees. Spruce wood. Pardon me. And I have to go figure out what I did with my bed. That was dumb. Dirt, you must be over here. Nether box. Yeah. So plenty of stuff, just not the stuff I need. Alright. Is it worth... No, it's not. I was going to ask if it's worth going to find my bed, and it's not. Let's just make another. And I'm not even sure why I did that, now that I think about it, because we're going somewhere I can't use it anyways. Organics box. Over there. Organize. 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 Egg box. Heart. Okay. Junk project. Guess I can put that away. Those I don't need there. These are all empty. Okay. Junk project. Organics. Okay, I think we should be good. That one's going to bug me. Let's put this up there. Nope, that's what I want. And I want this one. Okay. I'll probably take my other boots off. And I'm not flying in the nether, so that's just stupid. I have extra carrots kicking around. Hey Del, on my drive home from mini trip, lurking while driving. Ooh!
Oh.
Thank you very much for dropping in, Yellow. I really appreciate it. Enjoy your lurk, no problem. Hopefully I'll be remotely interesting and preferably not dead. I think we should be good, and I don't have any spare boots. Oh well. That'll get me through. Do drive safe, Yellow, definitely. Actually, if I'm heading into the nether, I should probably make sure I've got some sort of building block for a little bit. There, okay. Don't like nether trips, but we need sand, so... Oops, and I can get rid of the hoe. The hoe is not going to help me in the nether. Did I not put my... Nope, I didn't. That's dumb. No point in having a semi-first aid box if you don't actually put it in the chest to take it with you. There we go. Okay. I think I've got everything. I don't know. But we want to go... Let's see. Map. Nope, not that one. Actually, I can... Okay, let's go with... I have to be in the nether to pick one of those. Okay. We might have to come back through this portal. I'm just going to stand on the nether side. I don't really need to be on the roof, though. We'll see. And I'm going to give myself and everybody else a free hydrate. It says water.
Everybody hydrate!
It says water, but at this hour of the morning, it needs to be coffee. Okay, maps. What have we got? Looking for a promising place to be. That might not be too bad. Near Alex and Brian's place. I mean, I could go to DC's, but he doesn't have a regular nether portal. I don't know if Zerk and PP Zerk have one that goes down below. Might be worth checking. Back. Who's on? Oh, whoops. Does anyone know if the Zerks have a portal to the lower nether? Other options? What else have we got? I know I do, but that's not going to help me a whole lot. That's Wolfen, okay. Yeah, oh, whoops. Yeah. This is pretty much where I fell and burnt and got mad. So I probably get rid of that. Delete. Done. I've had at least one overworld death since then. Joe's might be an option, but I think hers doesn't go to the lower at all. Let's see. Hole in the roof and stairs leading down, at least to Soul Sand Valley. Perfect! That's just what I need. Alright, so that means that we can actually head there from here without having to go to the overworld side. So while the minecart's going, it's a little bit pokey. Let's see what we've got for a geek out. So our geek out topic today is literature. 2 poems by Shel Silverstein. 2 of them. That's all we're looking for. Anyone who wants to attempt to answer can do so. And I am not Googling them. I need to refresh a screen. There we go. A lot of us in North America grew up with Shel Silverstein poetry as part of our schooling, but not everybody did. Nope, and I have to be careful not to look at the guy, the Enderman. Our rail journey is a little bit longer than we'd expected. Now I think, if I could be wrong, but I think one of my absolute favorite poems, Ella Telefoni, could be by Shel Silverstein, but I'm not sure what else, and that's the problem, is I'm getting a second one. Hey Lena, how are you? I did not expect to see you here. I'm kind of squirreling today. A little bit spaced and feeling a bit off kilter. Turns out so let's make this story really short. So I had built an I had built a wheat farm, and then I decided to automate it with villagers because I'm needing a lot of thatch for a medieval theme. Unfortunately, it was pokey. Like you have to manually harvest it and whatever. So I put villagers in there and used a railcart system to collect stuff, which then went into a couple of dropper towers. But unfortunately, I am not a redstone guru, and I had completely forgotten that things sometimes break when they get unloaded or reloaded because they're not empty. And so by the system not being empty when I went out of range, it jammed up. So you fix the jam, and then you go off to do something else, and it jams again. So my thought instead is to tear out the dropper towers altogether and to switch them out for bubble columns off of soul sand. And then that way you can just pour them across the top of a hopper that'll then get you in there, which hopefully, cross my fingers, will be a little bit less likely to break. We'll see. I'll still need a dropper involved to get things into the water stream in the first place, but better than a kick in the pants, because I can leave the dropper permanently powered and I don't have to keep turning it on and off. I mean, I guess technically I could leave the dropper tower permanently powered as well, but that's just a lot of clickety noise nobody needs. So yeah, I'm off to one of our server mates to see if they have a hole to the lower nether at the Soul Sand Valley where I can go and get some. Hee. So, do you have a day off today, or are you at work? Because I'm kind of curious about that. It seems that just about every time I'm able to make it to your stream, of late, then you conveniently work the next day, which I will say, in my point of view, happens to work for me only because I like your streams enough that I will squirrel my way to whenever your stream ends, even if I shouldn't. And then some. It's the and then some that's really the killing me part, not staying with yours. It's like oh yeah, what was I doing? Yes, this thing. One more thing. Yep, then I'll do this one more thing, and then I'm going to bed. And I'll do this other thing. And one night I dozed off after your stream, and Fantastic Sherlock Fox came and woke me up at 6:30 in the morning to tell me I should go to bed. Well, and at the moment I'm also doing Vault Hunters vicariously because I just have not had the brain power and wherewithal, and my server conveniently has gone way past where I was. I mean, they were already ahead of me anyways, but a lot of them, that's all they play. So they're much, much further ahead. And I will admit that fairly dampens some of the enthusiasm I have. Just because it was they're helpful when you ask them, and sometimes they do volunteer help, which is fine. But everybody's very much into their own thing. And so it's like a weird conglomeration of a whole bunch of solo players, which is fine. But when you are getting kind of frustrated, having bumped your head against a vault 30,000 times and making zero progress, hearing others, look what I've got to do in Create or some other mod you've been looking forward to, and it's like, oh man. So I just stayed away from it. I don't know what I'm going to do about that because I might start over, but we'll see. I'm enjoying vanilla enough that for now I'll stick with the vanilla. Besides, I can make my own derps bad enough in vanilla that I don't need to necessarily complicate things. I love your rainbow name text, by the way. That's pretty cool. One of these days I'll figure out how to do that sort of thing. Ooh. Oh, that's a really funky looking... Huh. That's Torvus. Cool. So as you can see, I'm in Java because we just couldn't do this in Bedrock, although I wish. Yeah, I've got, I do have 7TV and Better TTV and Franker Face enabled. I just don't have a whole lot of their emotes because I realized that a lot of the emotes from some of those services weren't private, just getting over and above the number of emotes that emotes feature that Twitch allows you, and that far too many of them were actually, how do I put it, stolen, I guess, from other people. I didn't really want to support that. So, yeah. I'm enabled. If people are using them, it'll show up, but I don't have a whole lot of my own for that reason. Cool. Okay, so I am here, and what am I looking for? I'm looking for... Person said... I think I have a hole in the roof. With stairs leading down. A little building with a metal door. Not so much. Okay. I'm gonna bet it's this. Either that or Dylan's gonna end up in a bad place, but we'll go with this. It's down. There we go. Yeah, some of them are odd, a little bit. I don't know, they look weird to me. Cool. Don't know what they were doing. Oh. So I'm going to try and go a ways out from here. Probably over towards DC's. And scoop some sand up over there. I just don't want to... yeah, there aren't a whole lot of other great places to go scoop up sand. And at least it looks like I'll be in the correct valley beforehand, so at least I have a better idea of what I might run into. Exactly. I mean, that's what it is, but it's ones that I've seen on paid sites, and... Oh. Family friendly. We can do this. We can handle family friendly. Sorry, last week... Was it last week? I can't remember. Recently, I died to a ghast. Was not happy about that situation at all. So, at the moment I hear a ghast, and I think an unfamily friendly word, which is not going to actually happen on stream. There's really, like, there's very positive ways to use services like 7TV and so on. It's just that some of them, sometimes people spoil it for others. That's really what it came down to for me. Oh, I forgot about that. Now I'm in trouble. Back up for a second. Because over here, I should, hopefully, be able to open things. Hopefully. Oh, nope. Dude. Didn't I just clear you out? Really? Yeah, have a fantastic Easter weekend yourself. I really do appreciate your dropping in. Enjoy your lurk. Seems like we have a good number of friendly lurkers today. All right. So, I'm just going to pop in here. Oh. Press the button. Okay. So I need my golden pants. There. Now the piggies should hopefully leave me alone. Here's hoping. Okay, good. Then go out the door correctly. Alright. Wrong bow. Don't put that on the hotbar. Okay, let's try again. Of course, the piglins appear to be completely unfazed by the whole sand slowdown. Well, those guys don't, thankfully, but some of the others do seem to be less than fazed by it. Oh, and I didn't dig out my safety mushroom. Wow, I am really not doing well today. All I wanted was some elevator fodder. Jeepers creepers. Ow. Oh, that's not pleasant. So if I can get soul soil, this stuff, rather than soul sand. Let's see. Okay, how far am I away? I'm probably far enough away that it's not too rude if I pick up some stuff here. So let's go with that. Did I bring a box? No, I didn't bring a box. That's okay. If I take out this wall, things also don't follow me quite so easily. You can do a lot of the same things with the soul soil that you can with soul sand, but it doesn't have the slowdown factor, and that's why it's my preference. And then if people have like speedy boots, then they can go faster, but you just don't get penalized for it on the soul soil, whereas you do on the soul sand. Even a stack or two would be all I really need. I mean, longer term would be nice to have more, but yeah, no, just fixing a problem is probably a little bit higher priority. Okay, what have we got? Almost a stack and a half. Oh, and some of the other. Okay. Oh, well, that's, okay, dude, just probably right above my head up here. Is less than ideal. Probably right in front of my head, too. Oh no, he's a good ways away. I'm fine. Paranoia. Paranoia, one of my specialties. All good. Don't need bone blocks, anything but. 6, 13. We have more than we need, so we could go home. And that sounds like a plan. 13 is not my favorite, so let's make it some weird, more even number. Dividable. There we go. Here, base 8. There we go. Home time. Oops, wrong way. I need to go west, yes. Find the edge of... Okay. This is not going to be good if I get myself tangled. I'll take you guys over the other ones any day. Unless you're trying to kill me, in which case you can go away. Thank you, guys. They take care of the pig. We're good. Or the hog. We're out. What did I end up with? 22. Sure. Why not? Of course, Dylan. Press the button. And we're out. Awesome. Now it sounds like I make a big deal out of basically nothing, but sometimes it can be a big deal to me. Okay. I didn't look at that very clearly, just as I was coming around the corner. And coming up to this, it's like, wait a minute, since when did they have holograms with tusks that are on fire? If I had Arch on stream right now, wow, I would be seriously embarrassed by the state of my wheat farms. Now, I have done an eat multiple times, so I'm going to check off Mr. MC's. And Hangman game is still there, so I'm just going to let that sit. Try a new geek out. Choice. Oh. Okay, black, I think. Let's go black this time. 2 comedy albums. Oh, well, that'll be fun. So our geek out topic is 2 comedy albums. And as a fan of Monty Python, that's not necessarily all that difficult. So we've got, I'm going to cover that one off just to rock it, and then we can see what else we've got. So we've got Monty Python Sings, which is actually their singing album. They have plenty of other ones. But then another one I'm thinking of is, oh shoot, now I can't even remember the title. That's frustrating. I think it's called Noah, but it's an old Bill Cosby album. And in my favorite sketch on there, basically the long story made short, is Cosby's pretending to be Noah, who built the ark, supposedly, and he's talking to God, and God's telling him what to do, and he's like, right. And a whole bunch of stuff from that. Now, what's another one of those cases, while I don't necessarily like the actor's behavior or the comedian's behavior or anything like that, I will say the work they did was funny. The work they did was good. Same sort of thing goes with a lot of other topics. I don't necessarily like the way people behave or what comes out of their mouth, but the body of artistic work they produced is something I'm still a fan of. Alrighty. It's heading back to my base, and I'm on the red line. I think. There we go, red line. Wrong way. It's like, while I'm here, yeah, just gonna check the mailbox, because who knows if there's something in the mailbox. I don't often come to spawn, so I should probably check the mailbox every once in a blue moon. Push button to ride down. Okay. Whoops. Well, that wasn't what I intended. Okay, well. Oopsie, I guess that's the elevator? And, oh, she has mail. I have bales. Nice. I'll take that. Thank you. Thank you, people, for the bales. And Fantastic Sherlock Fox should probably come find himself a mailbox at some point. Doesn't have to have a head on it. Although, hey, if he wants a head on it, I can oblige. It's not a problem. So people don't have to have their head there. But if they do want it, these are heads obtained by PvP. You just have to have somebody else lop it off for you. Okay. I'm headed home, so I don't need to worry too much about that. Okay, so let's back in the elevator, press the button. There, now you guys have proof. I do ride Hobo Zim's elevator once in a blue moon. Not my favorite, but not because of anything against his work. It's just I'm not an elevator person. That's not what I want to be. I want to be over here. Hello. Goodbye. All right. Back we go with our wonderful score of hay bales. And actually go to our base. I hear a ding. I guess I must have got the XP from killing that guy. But he didn't drop anything. No. Just plain no. There was a gas noise and it's like, nope, not mine. Not a whole lot is supposed to spawn on the roof. But of course if you build... It's one of those Field of Dreams comments. If you build it, they will come. So we can get all kinds of things spawning up here. They just... do our best not to allow room for some of the larger nasties. So I believe there's a Froglight farm up here, and definitely a gold farm. You can see we've got piglins running around, doing their thing. And some very creative people that are still decorating the roof. It's funny because some of the ones that are decorating the roof are ones that could equally play on the Bedrock server, where you generally have no choice. Simply because since you can't go on the roof in the Bedrock version of the game, then people are building decorative tunnels, right? It's like you're forgetting to come name that guy. So like you're fired or whatever, because he doesn't need to be here. All right. Now, being it's Thursday, we don't have any particular reason to go anywhere or do anything or be anywhere. Pardon me. So I have the luxury of being able to work on those farms. And so I might as well just do so and get it out of the road. But in this case, I know even though I'm going to be closing it in, I've developed a habit of building water columns with glass around them, purely for the purposes of being able to check on them later and not actually have to worry about what they're digging into. If I see a glass, I go, oh, too close. You know, I'm going to have spillage. But I also have to be careful because I don't have any kelp. So rather than just putting in one bucket at the top and letting it flow down and then put a kelp at the bottom, I actually need to put a proper amount of source blocks. This one I can use soul sand, so I'll just do that. Glass. Okay, let's put away the bones, because I don't need that. Bones. More bows. Blah. I think we're good. Okay. Let's see, this one? What did I want that for? There was something I wanted it for. I might want this one. I'll take those. Fill some holes with that. That should... Oh, I know. I know why I needed these. Because I'm not organized enough, I don't think, to have... I have a hopper minecart. Yeah, but no... That's precious. That's eggs. That's stuff, but not hoppers. I'm going to need some water. So let's grab these, and I've got hoppers. Magically, that should be enough, but you know my luck. Okay. No. I do have wood in one of those boxes. Okay, we're good. Let's put away... Did I fill the hay bales box? Nope, I didn't fill the hay bales box. That's fine, I can always figure it out later. Figure it out later. So for now, I'm going with the theory that the speed is acceptable, provided that things start going to their places where they're supposed to be if and only if the place is loaded properly. 3. Okay. Some seeds made their way through. I just heard that. 4. 5. Okay, so we loaded all right. So far, so good. That's good news. And now I'm going to change it. Because that's what I do. Alrighty then. Okay, so I'm going to need... Oh, whoops. I didn't bring... Yeah. I did not bring the redstone with me. Nor did I bring the levers. Did I put them in the box? Nope. Oh, that's hay bales. Right. Pull that out. Where am I here? Didn't I have levers? Oh, I thought I did. Must have left them behind. Oh, good job. Get rid of this one because it's full. Okay. And neither of these have lever making materials. I mean, that's got cobble, but no sticks. Oh, okay, fine. This one. Yeah. This one. Two. Not what I wanted. I wanted 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, I don't need those. Because I've got over here. And I thought I was going to fall down the hole. There. Now, levers. I should only need 2. In theory, I should only need 2. Okay, so if I do this, I'm going to fail. Because I did that wrong. I can't do that. That would be, sensible. Here, let's put that up top. Those back in the box. Okay, so I did that wrong. That's fine. Where is that? Precious box. Yes, just enough. Redstone to do what I want, I think. We'll see how badly I can mess things up. And Ian will show up and he's like, "What the did you just do?" Yep. That's okay. I don't care. Because I'm tearing all this apart. I don't care. This block. You can go here and here. And I have to take out that one because it's stopping the hopper. Okay. I'm hearing them. Where are they going? Interesting. It's fine. Take those back. Take this one back. I had 42. Now I've got 18. Go figure. All right, take this and that out. All of these. Oops, do I have more going on behind the scenes there? Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna try this. Oh, wrong way. Just want one. You end up in here, yes. But you should be dumped on the ground. Well, that's not gonna work. Okay. Let's go old-fashioned. Oops. Oh, that's really dumb. It's not gonna work at all. Stand over here. Hello? Oh, no, actually, I don't want those. I want other ones. As I be lazy. Too late. It's late at night. Yurt time. Because I left the bed over by the trees. Not so effective. Alrighty. That'll do. This one, that, and that. Yeah, sure. So in theory, if it sorts properly, we should be able to get stuff in there. Yeah, let's go see what the seeds are up to. Not a lot. And I've just created myself a hole to fall into. On the bright side, upper lines tend to just work, right? So you don't have to worry about other things causing problems. I heard that. There should be seeds coming. There's one. Does it work well enough is the question. Probably not. Okay, that's fine. I don't want this block powered because it will cause problems with that one. That's what I was worried about. There's definitely something busted up there. Even with this bottom dropper empty. That one's not firing. Can I reach up there? There we go. Okay, so it works when I don't have everything in the way. Problem I have is over here. If I mess with too much over there, then it's going to cause problems with those powered rails. But I can probably turn part of this. No I can't because this block gets powered. Redstone is not my friend. Bubble columns are fine, but I've never done one where other things feed into it. It's always been like a human bubble column. I'm going to think out loud here, and this isn't working. Let's get out of the hole to start with. Oh, well, now I know. Go. Okay, so what I'm hoping for is to throw whatever it is comes in here, spits into there. But then I need to find a way to repeatedly power that, which I would assume I could do with this, and then wrap the redstone around. But that's not going to be as easy as it looks, because this can't have redstone in front of it if that's going to be the bubble column location. And if I was to take out of here, I'd have to do it based on the direction that things are feeding into. I've got enough stuff coming down either side that I don't really want to mess with too much redstone beside it. Right, because I've got pieces coming in like this, more or less, which poses problems for powering this one. What does it look like under here, maybe? Can I just put it out sideways? I don't think I've got the space. Thinking out loud, it's not working. Okay, this one, that would be going here, and then I'd have to come 1, 2 out from that. What's underneath this? This is rail, so that's not going to work because I can't be messing with the rail. Could I bubble column this way? Oh. Okay. So if I just take this one out and go that away, that it ends up here. Actually, that's fine because then it'll pour back the other direction. Except that it's going to ruin my rails. That's not going to work either. Okay. Come on. Up we go. Up, up, up. And oops, not that one. Do the same thing. No, not that. Okay. I don't care how I power it at the moment. Throw that on the side just to start with. And let's put some junk inside. All right, did that come out the top? Yes, close enough. So if I box these in, weird sound, whatever that is. Where did I put the bed? Let's go steal the bed. Do. Hop, skip, and a jump away. There we go. Happy little bed. La 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 la. All right. My test question becomes, if I do this sort of thing straight on top of one, should things set out in there, more or less? I got the 2 flowers, just throw that in there for now. It really doesn't matter how I power it. This and that. And the answer is yes. Okay, I may have my problem solved. So we'll just go right on top with the existing circuit that we already had, which only relies on comparators. And if that jams, at least it's easy enough to fix. I wish it was an untouched piece where I don't have to be involved, but you know, sometimes. Okay, so let's see if I can break it rather effectively. Because that's busted. That over there. Filling up, please. Thank you. This way. That one's going up. This one's going to be sand. That'll be fine. Let's take this out for now. Oh, this is not going to work. It's too short. Delenn. I'm thinking out loud and it's not working. The out loud thinking part. Yeah. It's gonna be a mess, I know. Honestly, I think I'm just overthinking this. Didn't see that. Here I was, I thought I was so clever, and I was not. Okay. I thought I was so clever, but I was not. What am I doing now? Putting things back. And seeing if I can put them back the same way I had them in earlier. No guarantees. This one, that one, and this will have a hopper to it. And we can jump these ones. 1, 2, 3. That's where our chest was. This is where the comparator was, this way. Take that out because I need the repeater going this way. And redstone that way. Memory test. This one powers that, which powers that, which can power this. And this is getting all jammed up, which means this is going to get jammed up, which means that's going to get jammed up because that's not powered yet. That needs a block here to get a torch there and a block here. Well, parkour, because oops. I guess it doesn't particularly matter if they stop this hopper. Like locking and unlocking, it's probably not going to be a big deal. But I'm going to take that out anyway. Actually, no, I'm going to leave that because it might prevent this one from ever having more than one. There'll still be dirt. Well, that was an experiment that went a little bit less productive than I'd hoped. I now have bulbicol material for the future, I guess? Sure. Well, we're still getting seeds, so that part seems to be semi-functional. So I guess I'll go with it. Let's put these out of the way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. No, I've got a barrel. That's not what I want. I don't want a barrel. I could use a composter, though. Why not? Let's just make a composter. Labs. Classic lazy way out. Oh, there goes my bed. Silly me. Oops, not that one. Whee! Sure. Why not? It's not the world's most convenient, but it does the trick.
Hello?
Oh, sorry to hear that, Catastrophic. No problem. If you need to multi-attempt, I won't be offended. So I'm staring at a somewhat frustrating wheat farm. The speed isn't great, but the harvest rate isn't great either. So I'm not going to fuss too much about it. It's not like we're missing items. I can probably make it faster if I switched it all to I can remember the word. Pistons and not pistons. Hopper minecarts through the soil. Let's see. Okay, so I've got a hopper minecart. I know that. Where is this done? What am I missing? Iron. Of course, I just put the iron in the other bin. Right. Well, thank you very much, Catastrophic. I actually am having a relatively good stream, all things considered. All things considered. It's going a little longer than I usually do, but I'm glad that you're interested in dropping by. The more the merrier, everyone's welcome. So what were you up to in your stream? I would like to know. Inquiring minds would like to know, yes. Okay, so let's go... Actually, I don't want that one. I'm just going to put that in the air. Move that one out of the way. So this one, that one, bed, somewhat critical. So I'm playing on the Dadcraft73 server, and we are, we being this channel, are looking at the the farms, and we're doing a medieval theme. So automatic storage hall, a leather farm, and just random bits of getting distracted. Ooh, a leather farm. That's something I should take a look at someday. I've never built one. Oh, I don't have a rail. Really? One of those days where you've got everything but what you need? So all I want to do is put this on top of that, but it won't let me without a rail. And unfortunately, I just don't have enough rockets to be spending them on little things like that. When you just built isn't that great, it's not very efficient. Hey, you got one. Good place to start, right? Excellent place to start. I'm making a bunch of derps today that I do know better. I'm just not quite getting the groove in quite the same way, which is odd. And it's like, oh, hey, I've got this great idea. I'm going to go do whatever it is. And then I go and do the thing, and it's like, nope, that was not the right idea. Or, nope, that's just not working. Now, part of what the problem is with this particular farm is that my base is just wide enough. Well, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that. Part of what the problem is happens to be that this farm is far enough out of range that it doesn't stay loaded. So sometimes when things unload, then it jams up, which it may have just done again. So it's the nature of what's going on with the loading and unloading of chunks. Okay. So I'm actually kind of semi-experimenting. Where did I put this one? Semi-experimenting to see what would happen. Oh, no, not a rail. Duh. What would happen if I thought about pushing minecarts into the dirt rather than just simply having them underneath? So, dirt, dirt. Need another one. And for some reason, my brain just is a little slower today than usual. So we'll get through this. Oh, this one. Okay, and then I need a lever, which will briefly pop off, but that's okay. Alrighty then. That's a new one. They have fixed that. Huh. Well, that's inconvenient. What you used to be able to do, and I've used it for sheep farms before, is shove your minecart into the dirt so that the two are sort of like in one place, and then it will pick up the drops from the sheep a lot faster. I'm really glad I didn't do it that way this time, because it would not have worked. Right? As we can see, it just literally goes right through. Either that or Dylan did it dumb somehow, but I have a suspicion that's probably not the case. Which means that if I wanted to do the minecart thing, then I'd have to have my land and a whole gazillion minecarts right below it, instead of a rail system, which is doable, but it's just a pain because there's just so much fiddliness in getting the rail carts to actually stay side by side, because they push out of place really, really easily. That's what I was trying to avoid. But even that, whether I get it built that way or not, is a moot point if the collection system keeps getting jammed up. So this one seems to be not jammed at the moment. We're okay, but if I go do something else on the farm, it'll jam again. So yeah, apparently there's a circuit that's supposed to prevent that, but I am not redstone savvy enough to quite understand what they're getting at. So yeah. There is, what else have I done? So you can see on the mini-map, although we're playing vanilla, I have a good collection of quality of life mods that I like to work with. And you can see, for example, on the right-hand side, I've got a melon farm. But the melon farm actually has a cart system underneath, a minecart running around doing its thing. And it's not loaded. If I go deal with the melon farm, then the wheat farms aren't loaded. Now, I could easily move the melon farm. That's not the point. It's more that I'm working with a design where what I would actually end up doing is fencing in a lot of this hilled sort of, well, maybe not that part, we'll see, but a lot of this stuff all the way around, and making villager houses and stuff inside that because it's based in a real place. But if it's going to be very unloaded, then what's the point? Right? I mean, if it's something that doesn't matter, that's okay. But if I'm wanting it for farms or something, that's not going to be very helpful. Which also explains a lot because right underneath the central section, which is debating whether it's loaded or not, is a faux mob farm. And I call it faux because by not lighting up top and not lighting up enough inside, that it doesn't actually produce anything. Even though there's no light getting to the platforms I need, it doesn't produce squat. The one time I went down, I went, "Ooh, hey, all the platforms are full." I was looking with a free cam, so like this, right? Just looking at it with free cam, and it's like, "Hey, great!" So by the time I did this and got my character over there, everything had despawned because of the distance was different, like it was calculated funky. So yeah, I didn't expect to have to deal with spawning issues quite so much this season. It's a whole new way of thinking that my brain has not been prepared for, and not really sure what I think of it. It's frustrating, but that's just because my previous ones have been very independently farmless or not build, or they're farms where I didn't care because they weren't really running that way. So yeah. Need to think about what I'm going to do. The sheep farm is pretty big. I need to do one of those generic ones with all the colors. And it's just one sheep per thing, but I did not put the hopper carts into this stuff this year. Now, on the other hand, I can always try it in reverse and just do a proof of concept that says it's not going to work. So let's science that just for the sake of completionism. This one, got the minecart. I have to remove the rail because it's going to cause problems. And then I put the dirt on top, which you can't. Yeah, you can't. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3. The dirt up there. So, for science, nope. You can see that that's not going to work. So it's been quote-unquote fixed. At least as far as my purposes go, it's been fixed. Oh well. Too bad, so sad. We're getting some wheat through. Some seeds, okay. Seeds are not really the key. I mean, like, I'd love to get rid of them, but the earlier design of this farm actually had the villagers needing it. It's possible. It's possible. The last time I built this farm was actually on Bedrock. Sorry, last time I built this farm was on Java, but you could shove things in at that point. And then last time I built it on Java, it was a royal headache just getting the minecarts to stay put. But the minecart staying put seems to be the only option I have if I want to speed it up right now. Which means I have to, in essence, stop the farm while I build the new version. And as you can imagine, that's about as fun as getting a tooth pulled. That said, if I do too much crying all around, you don't get anything done, right? And I'd like to get at least one of the farms I've been aiming to make actually functional. Would be nice. So, I guess I don't really have a whole lot of choice. Oops. Which means then I put away the piston. And I put away the levers just because they're out of the way. where did I put? There it is. So we need ourselves a lot of hoppers and a lot of minecarts. Do I have more wood? I have regular wood, but not a ton of stuff. Okay. Given that, one of the things we sometimes do on this channel, and I'm just going to throw it up there, is we sometimes do a prediction on whether or not if I toss 5 eggs into the air, we're going to get a chicken. I'm going to run one. There it is. And if people want to participate, by all means, if that's not your thing, don't worry about it. But basically, it's a 1 in 8 chance per egg to see whether or not you're going to get a chicken out of said egg. And I'm just going to run that towards the end. And I think I'm only going to go to the top of the hour today because this is functional, right? And I could make it a project for next week to start tearing out the bottoms of these and doing the minecarts. I've already gone an hour longer than usual, so I may just go with that. In the meantime, I've got an itch for some Lego, so I'm going to end off with a little bit of Lego here. We don't always do a whole stream full, just a bit of a twist. If Lego's not your thing, I wish you the best. But yeah, that's where I'm going to go for the moment. So a quick swap. And we got ourselves straight into the Lego stuff. Hopefully without a coffee collision today. And I will hopefully have an opportunity to science some more things so that I know what I'm doing. But Neon says he had a picture of a design that I could use where it would not cause problems with the system. Like the whole unloading thing wouldn't be a problem. But we'll just need to see, and I'll have some more discussions with people and see what I can do, because this is something that's new to me in a way that was not comfortable. Okay, so Lego. We're just going to finish up the hour with this one. Let's get studio mode. Let's get the instructions rolling. All right, and we are quite a ways in. Come on, you silly thing. We are like 82 or 83, I think. 58. Come on. Roll, please. Scroll. Okay, we're getting a little further than that. Back. What do we got? I haven't got the plates on yet. Nor the furniture. Okay, so we're starting bag 2, and I did not null it. Lovely. Oops. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this section out. And grab bag 2. Where did I put bag 2? That in 1,000. And under my nose. So the attempt of what we're trying to build today is actually a house banner. And then when we're done that, we'll finish up the stream piece with the end of the Minecraft boat. Toss the eggs and call it a day. Thankfully, this one's not so much knolling as the previous one was. Which suggests, why don't I instead just grab a couple bins and just dump it in the bins? Here's one. Sorry about the arm. 2. And the first thing they want out of this one is characters done. So we've got a couple of heads and a couple of torsos. There's some legs. There's some hair. Oh, I see another hair over here. I need one more set of legs, I think. Otherwise, we'll have a temporarily differently abled Lego character. Guess that is the case. I'll find the legs after. So, first off, let's see, is it a girl or guy? This way? Oop, one more. It's a guy. Okay, so we've got the light hair on the light head, which is a dual-sided head. You can just barely see that. I think it's Neville, but I'm not fully sure. And then on his torso. And we shall give... Ooh, that's the end of the egg redeem. So we're just about there. We get this one, the black legs. And what threw me a little bit is the other character is supposed to have tan legs. So I can see those right here. We'll just get those two characters built and then we'll switch back. All right, so we've got legs. We've got a head. She doesn't look impressed. Let's make her somewhat less unimpressed. Let's go with this. I think it's supposed to be Angelina Johnson, but I'm not fully sure. We've got the two minifigs, and then we'll head right back to the Lego. All right. Swing that out of the road. Now, the way we do these Lego redeem, or Lego, I got Lego on the brain. The way we do these egg redeems is I have to get myself out of here first. And go grab 5 eggs, which we have in the egg carton in our chest. One, two, three, four, 5. Okay. I will take a look to see whether or not anyone actually participated. Nope, but that's okay. I have more than enough eggs. So then we can just toss them. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there would have been a yes. Yes, we got a chicken. But, hey you, come here. Black, goodbye. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, who said you can run? There. We have to get rid of them because, of course, they drop all the eggs the zombies pick up and then they're hanging around. All right. So we're going to simply cancel that one because there's nobody involved. And let's see who we can find. Give me a quick shake to grab someone. Turn around. Burp. All right, at the top of the hour, I see JD White. I think we're going to head over there. He's playing with his Hardcore Minecraft Day 110. And yeah, it doesn't say family friendly, but the thing is, he very, very rarely says anything inappropriate. He just doesn't feel comfortable putting that tag on because it does push some viewers away. So we're going to go raid JD White. Please do give him all our best. And we will take time off. For those of you that celebrate Easter, I really do wish you a great weekend. If you don't celebrate it, and maybe in the middle of Eid or something similar, I do recommend having a good time as well. Enjoy your celebrations. We'll touch base again soon. I will be back on Tuesday, at which time I will have decided, hopefully, what our next project's going to be, whether it be tearing apart the farms or whether it be some other thing. We still have a whole cattle pen and stables to build for that one as well. So we've got that as another possibility. But I'll be back on Tuesday, noon Eastern, and I believe that's the best plan. And we'll know from there whether or not we've got big plans, little plans, or something else. So let's head into JD White and see if we can get ourselves cheaty buttons. There we go. Maybe. Apparently not. All right. Let's make sure I can mute that. Shh. Mute tab. Okay. Raid JD White _
Mischief managed.
Excellent. So for those of you that have access, we have the raid emotes available. There's always a Discord, as everybody and their dog has, but it's a nice quiet place. If you have further thoughts to share, please do feel free to drop them there. You can see thanks to Fantastic Sherlock Fox and to all of our wonderful viewers that dropped by today. And if you were lurking, thank you very much for the lurk as well. I do appreciate everyone that comes in. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye for now.
Transfer complete.